In today's video we will be telling you about the new 2025 Caregiver Immigration Pathway to become Canadian Permanent Resident PR getting underway this March 2025, as IRCC announces the eligibility for the new home care worker. Home care workers can now get more information on the forthcoming pathways to Canadian permanent residence. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada IRCC has posted more details on the forthcoming Home Care Worker Immigration Pilots HCWP, including reduced language, work experience, and education eligibility criteria for candidates. The Home Care Worker Immigration Pilots are two forthcoming Labor Market Impact Assessment LMIA, exempt immigration pathways for foreign home care workers to find employment and receive permanent residence PR upon arrival to Canada. They are set to be launched on March 31, 2025. The Immigration Department clarified that upon opening, the HCWP will only accept applications from candidates who are currently in Canada. Applicants outside Canada will have the opportunity to apply at a later date. IRCC also provided further details for these pathways, which will be covered in this article, including which streams are included within the HCWP, eligibility requirements for language scores, work experience, and job offers, HCWP eligibility for out-of-status workers in Canada, and guidance for applicants to the now closed Home Child Care Worker and Home Support Worker Pilots. What are the streams for the new Home Care Worker Immigration Pilots? Foreign nationals can apply to the new Home Care Worker Immigration Pilot HCWP under one of two streams: the Workers in Canada stream, and the Applicants Not Working in Canada stream. Upon opening at the end of March, only the Workers in Canada stream will accept new applications. The Applicants Not Working in Canada stream will open its application intake later in the year. IRCC advises that potential applicants to the Workers in Canada stream take an approved language test and get their education assessed through an Education Credential Assessment ECA, in anticipation of the HCWP's opening date in March. You must take a language test that is approved by the Canadian government when you submit an immigration application as a skilled worker. Completing a test is necessary to demonstrate you meet the language requirements of the skilled worker program you are applying to. Canada's federal and provincial skilled worker immigration programs require that you complete a language test. The Department of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada IRCC approves the following language tests for skilled worker applications: CELPIP General Test, TEF Canada, Test Evaluation de Frontier, and DCF Canada, Test de Connaissance du Français mainly. Meanwhile, for the Educational Credential Assessment ECA, which is a document that verifies the Canadian equivalence of a foreign degree, diploma, certificate, or other proof of education credential, the ECA report states whether an individual's educational credential is equivalent to Canadian standards and is valid for the purposes of Canadian immigration. The current organizations designated by IRCC to issue ECA reports are World Education Services, International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, International Qualifications Assessment Service, International Credential Evaluation Service, Medical Council of Canada Professional Body for Doctors, Pharmacy Examining Board of Canada Professional Body for Pharmacists, and the Canadian Architectural Certification Board Professional Body for Architects. The Immigration Department has not released details on application procedures for the Applicants Not Working in Canada stream. More details will be posted by IRCC once available. IRCC also warns that guidance on how to prepare to apply may change at any time and advises those interested to check their web pages regularly for any updates. Who is eligible for the HCWP? IRCC has announced the following eligibility criteria for the HCWP. Number 1. Work experience, which has to be 6 months of recent relevant work or a credential of at least 6 months of related home care training. Number 2. Language proficiency, which has to be Canadian Language Benchmark CLB level 4 or higher in English or French. Number 3. Job offer. The person must have a job offer from either a private household or an organization that directly hires full-time home care workers to provide short-term or occasional home care. Number 4. Education, which has to be secondary school diploma minimum requirement. In addition to the above, home care workers must also have an intent to reside in a Canadian province other than Quebec to be eligible for these new streams. Candidates who qualify based on work experience may have gained this work experience either in Canada or abroad. Job offer conditions * foreign nationals applying to the HCWP may hold a job offer from any of the following organizations: home health care service providers, home care support service providers, direct care agencies, personal care services in residential settings, or pediatric home health care service providers. Job offers from recruitment and placement agencies are not eligible. Note that an LMIA is not required in support of job offers. Additional eligibility for out-of-status workers and previous applicants. IRCC has opened eligibility for the HCWP to home care workers in Canada who are currently out of status. These individuals may still be eligible to apply under the HCWP due to a public policy. A limited number of spots are available to this cohort. In addition, some previous applicants to the home child care provider and home support worker pilots' previous home care worker immigration pathways that were closed in June 2024 may continue to apply. Under the old pathways, newcomers who applied under the previous pilots gaining experience category before June 2024 and who have now built up enough eligible work experience may send IRCC proof of their work experience under previous guidelines to have their permanent residence PR application considered. Caregivers are vital to the well-being of Canadian families, particularly as the population ages and the demand for home care grows. These new pilot programs acknowledge their contributions by offering stability, permanent residency, and expanded career pathways. Additionally, families benefit from having access to qualified caregivers who can provide consistent, high-quality care. These programs also ensure a more sustainable supply of workers, reducing disruptions for families reliant on caregiving services.
The announcement of these programs signals Canada's commitment to building a permanent caregiver framework. By addressing labor shortages and creating a supportive environment for workers, these initiatives pave the way for long-term improvements in the home care sector. Further details, including application guidelines and timelines, will be released soon. If you're a caregiver or an employer in the home care sector, now is the time to prepare for these transformative changes. Canada's new caregiver pilot programs are poised to make a meaningful difference in the lives of caregivers and the families they support. By granting permanent residency upon arrival, expanding job opportunities, and simplifying eligibility requirements, these initiatives reflect Canada's forward-thinking approach to immigration and care. Stay tuned for more updates as these programs take shape and take a step closer to a brighter future for caregivers and Canadian families. The program is not yet open, therefore, more updates will be shared as soon as more information becomes available. These straightforward requirements aim to streamline the application process and attract skilled, dedicated caregivers to Canada. Why the need for change? The upcoming pilot programs will replace the Home Child Care Provider Pilot and Home Support Worker Pilot, which are nearing their conclusion. While these programs laid the groundwork for caregiver support, feedback from workers and families highlighted the need for more efficient and inclusive pathways. The new caregiver pilots, a visionary approach that aims to simplify immigration processes, expand employment opportunities, and strengthen family support systems. What is the Enhanced Caregiver Pilot Program all about? Acknowledging the need for more caregivers in the country, IRCC announced two enhanced caregiver pilots in June 2024. These new pilot programs are set to replace successful pilots that ended in June 2024, which were the Home Child Care Provider Pilot and the Home Support Worker Pilot. Unlike the previous programs, they give home care workers permanent residency PR on arrival in Canada. Home care workers will also be allowed to work for organizations that provide temporary or part-time care for people who are semi-independent or recovering from an injury or illness. What makes these programs unique? Number 1. Permanent residency on arrival. Caregivers will now receive permanent resident status upon arrival in Canada. This groundbreaking change removes uncertainty, allowing workers to focus on their roles while integrating more easily into Canadian society.
Number 2, a broader employment opportunities. The new programs will enable caregivers to work in diverse settings, including temporary or part-time care for individuals recovering from illness or injury, or those requiring semi-independent living assistance. This flexibility addresses a wider range of care needs while enhancing job opportunities. And that brings us to the end of today's video, where we told you about the new 2025 caregiver immigration pathway to become Canadian permanent resident PR getting underway this March 2025, as IRCC announces the eligibility for the new home care worker. If you found this information valuable and you're eager for more most updated information and immigration tips to successfully migrate, then kindly like and share our videos and subscribe to this channel. Then don't forget to hit the notification button to have all our future videos. If you need help, however, with specifics or individualized services in particular, please feel free to contact us by electronic mail, and let's create this success story together. Thank you, and see you at the next video.